And I thank you everybody for showing up to this 26th day after Christmas Legal Shield and Field Notes webinar that we do. And so I wanted to ask the same question that I asked for the Mondays to the Monday people, which was more group. No, sorry, more networking. And the question is, now that we're going into a new year, right? What is it for your business, right? So I'm thinking our CRM, your business, whether if it's strictly Legal Shield or, you know, all the other stuff that you guys do. What's on your to-do list? What are areas in which you guys want to be better in? What are some things that you would like to pencil for next year for yourself? To give you guys like a little bit of an idea of what some people said on the Monday was cleanup, right? They've got, I don't want to say a disaster, but they've got something that's unorganized. And if it's unorganized, then it really makes it difficult to utilize it, right? Because you'll have to almost even do everything manual. You'll have to go find the people manual. You'll have to email, whether if it's individually, either with a template or something, but it's going to cause you to have to comb through your leads. And if you got a couple hundred, a couple thousand, it'll definitely make things that much more difficult. So organization was one, cleanup. Some other people were like flat out, I just want to use it more. Let's say they're anywhere from 10 to 30% usage of it. They want to be obviously double that, if not, close to the 90s, 80% usage of the CRM. So I can respect that. Some people haven't really started, so they want to start, So those are a little bit of the things that some people had expressed. Let me see who I can pick on first. Allison.
Good morning, everybody. Happy
Good.
holidays.
Yeah.
I think for me, what I'm kind of messing with is that we've just kind of finished open enrollment. And so I've got groups that I'm getting census reports from the brokers on. And so there are people that have opted out this year, or there's new people coming in. And it looks like I don't know how to do it any other way than just manually entering the newbies in and then going into the opt-out folks and just change their status. I would love to be able just to take, the whole new census with Sparky and send it, but then I've got those few people that are no longer active, but I want to keep them in the system.
Right.
I just changed their status. So I don't know if there's any way that I can do that other than just manually handling it. So
Um,
that's
how big
that's
of a
me.
list? How big of a list?
It's not a huge list. It's, a half a dozen here, two there. It's really small,
Mhm.
but there's always those days that it could be bigger.
Okay. Okay. And so what I can get from that is just maybe learn how to use the system in a way in where you don't have to be so manual. So
Yeah, I would think so if that's, if that's possible with something, like that, changing, the census every year to reflect what we've got going on.
I think now these census, do these people come with like group numbers and things like that? Are they part of a big group?
Um, Usually what I get from my brokers are the data fields that I need to enter them in Shield at Work.
Uh-huh.
So once I've entered them into Shield at Work, they're not, I've got two things going on. I have those that I have to enter manually for Shield at Work because that's how the broker has given me the information. And then I've got others that go across in an EDI feed, which I then have, they pop up saying, oh, you have enrollment activity. And so I go in and look at all those people, and I've got to now move them from Shield at Work over to Field Notes,
Gotcha,
if
gotcha.
that makes sense. So I've kind of got two things going on depending on how I get the information.
Well, that's definitely, a job, but I can start to wrap my little noodle around what might be the best. Maybe we get into a session. You can show me
Yeah, we
what
can
you're
take it off.
planning.
We can take it offline, but that's kind of where
I
I'm
can
coming from.
and I can definitely help you kind of figure out what might be the best way and how you can
Okay.
leverage. So that's good. I did see somebody just pop in who I want to pick on.
Rick.
That's so Rick,
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It wasn't
oh,
me.
you necessarily did. You came, so now you're gonna get whacked. So what we're doing today is just kind of, it's the end of the year, the new year's coming. What are some things that you would like to focus on? I would say you're a relatively high user of the program, right? You use it in many different ways. But what are the
Hmm.
ways that you would like to maybe either improve with Field Notes and Legal Shield? Like what are your visions for this next year to come? Is it increase business? Is it organize? Is it, retention campaigns? Is it more communication? What are you thinking that you'd like to do for this year?
Hmm. That's a good question. I'll have to think about that a little bit. I mean, there've been several things over the year that I've thought of that, oh, this would be nice if it did that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head at the moment, though. Of course, there's nothing on the top of my head right now. I mean, it's just like a totally blank slate.
Some
So,
people have said like organize. Some people
hmm
necessarily don't have their CRM yet organized in a way in where they can see their groups, where they can see their active members, where they can see
hmm
people they've put into pre-cancel. And then all their other groups, whether if it's
Yeah.
personal, other, what is it, groups that they're part of, they would like to have
hmm
all of that
hmm
organized so that for them, if they needed to email that group, they can. If they needed to
Yeah.
send out a text message, hey, this is where the party's at. This is, all of those
Yeah.
kinds of things.
If there can be
Organization.
more interplay and more automation between Legal Shield systems and field notes, as I suspect that's what you were talking about with Allison there, any of that obviously is going to be a good thing because having to go from one place to the other and, oh, this got updated over here, but it didn't get updated over there. Somebody was in pre-cancel, now they're not. Oops, now they're back again. So,
Mhm.
they're bad with bills. Um, those kinds of things that you have to do on a manual basis. So if there can be, and I mean, I also understand that that is a kind of a deep subject as far as that part of it goes. I mean, it's like we're not talking about, oh, just, you know, throw this code in here and the feature works. Uh, but anything that takes away those manual tasks that you have to remember, update, something got updated over here. Now I've got to remember to update it over there, is going
Right.
to be a good thing.
I think so. In regards to that, I don't want to say I don't ever think that Legal Shield is ever going to give us some like connection, but I think we would be waiting for a really long. I know what we are
Yeah.
waiting
Oh, yeah. You can't wait for Legal Shield technology. You just can't.
And so the one big the one big move that we wanted to make with the data uploading, which I think is going to help with manual entries and editing and updating and that kind of stuff. We're just waiting for one system to be what you guys log into so that it's not, and then we could adhere to that data set and have only just one to look at and not have two different systems and people having issues with one because they're uploading data from this one place, data from this other
Hmm.
place. So once that, which I hear coming of the year, they're going to flip the switch. So I hope that is the case, right? So then we can kind of move forward with that little wizard tool that we have on the upload. In regards to
Hmm.
your Christmas wish and having to where you can set up a specific third, fourth Saturday of a month and then have it triggered days before that Saturday,
Hmm.
things like that. That is coming to fruition relatively soon. I had to kind of light some fires again and see if we could get it. And then I just got a message yesterday coming soon. So that's
Coming soon to a theater
Yeah.
near you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I know Rick's going to be happy with that, but it's also going to help anybody else when it comes to
Yeah.
doing a third Thursday, second Wednesday of the month type of gathering. and then you could have,
Dealing with Julian, our
yes.
calendar maker,
So
the Julian calendar and the way things fall in an inconsistent fashion, and the math of going back and forth just make that a difficult thing to make happen code-wise. Most of the days of the month
it works
are
out.
easy to do, but when it falls on the first or within the first few days of the month, it's difficult to go and say, oh, I've got an event that's then, now back up 3 days and now
Right.
send my message.
So I
So
think they're going to go 7 days. They're going to go up to 7 days when it comes to, and I think that
yeah, 7 days would
give
do it if they've got the code to do that.
should give enough
And
leeway for all the different
mhm,
types of scenarios that
yeah.
may come out. And so fingers crossed, hopefully I'll get something to surprise you with, and then we can lay that dog to rest in that sense. So so yeah, so that's coming up. There's some new things with some spheres so that it's a little bit more organized for you guys, similar to the contact views folder system, right? So for creating lead flows and lead magnets, you can immediately identify and have a folder where all of those live. You can check. I'm using it on a gentleman who has dog training website, and if you would have asked me how fast it would have taken for us to get leads from his own website, I probably would have said give it a month, 60 days. He's already gotten people that have from Google, from just searching the internet, have gone to his website. And because he has forms on every website to capture the people that are looking for personal training, for video sessions, for all kinds of different scenarios, he's already gotten 2 leads within 15 days. And these are leads where they're given dog's name, issues, problems, when he needs that, when he needs to get the thing fixed. So it's like that to me, it sounds like it's a open shut case, right? So I'm happy to see that that's just working. And he has a place now where he has all of his views. He can go to each one, track it, see it. And so definitely some new things coming. But okay, I can take you there. I don't know, Michelle, you're relatively new, so you're probably with all the new problems, but you are familiar with what it is to use another CRM, right? I think you were using
Yeah.
MailChimp.
Hmm.
So you have some knowledge about systems and how to do the consistent contact with people. And so do you have any goals for this coming year for you?
Getting started.
Okay. All right, so getting up and running.
Yep.
That's a decent goal. And then you're strictly communication to people, right?
Yeah.
It's just follow up communication. Okay. So that'll be good that we lay down a foundation in the beginning, and then we can pile in all the leads, have
Yeah.
everything organized, and then we can see what's your best method of communicating with these people and then just kind of act on it, right?
Yep.
So that's something. And then I didn't think we heard from Estella, although I have an idea of what she might. But if you're free to talk, Estella, you can let us know what you're thinking for this new year to come, how you would like to use, and what are some maybe areas that you'd like to improve with Field Notes. Well, like before, could be busy, um, but yeah, no, I mean, with starting the new year, obviously having some goals, right? Instead of shedding 50 pounds, it's learn the CRM. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can, I guess, address those little challenges for everybody. And that's what I wanted to use this Thursday as just to pick your guys' brains, see what kind of areas we have any pockets so that I can come up with topics and maybe some informational kind of teachings during these sessions so that you guys can take something home each time and just build some content for you guys. So that's kind of like what I had in mind. I don't know if anybody else has anything to talk about, anything that they'd like to discuss before the end of the new year. We will be regular schedule, just for everybody to know, next week. The 30th, I'll most likely do something. It might be light, so no worries if it's light. I'll keep the conversation short. And then Thursday, are you guys taking the second off? Do you think? Do you guys think you guys will be around? You guys back to work like everybody else? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, at least I'm not the only one. Now I feel a little bit better. I was so
We're
trying
here
to
to keep you
weasel.
company.
I was like, so what are we? Are we off the 24th and see you next Monday? And they're like, no, just giving you the 25th off. I was like,
Mhm.
oh man, why
So,
couldn't it? Go ahead.
so I have a question. You sent out an email recently about a new feature, I guess, that's coming out.
The stocking stuffer?
I might be late to the table because I haven't been very consistent the past couple of months in attending this Thursday group. But
That went out to everybody in our database that I have. So
okay.
it went out to about 3,000 people. So I think what you're talking about is, so we are doing some new things. I don't know if you guys ever heard of business in a box, that kind of concept. And because we do a lot of things and we have a lot of capability to do things for real estate, for business owners, mom and pop shops, like we really can expand ourselves into having a CRM that's just not a legal shield or a real estate kind of thing. We've taken on a lot of different accounts, such as this gentleman that I've recently been talking about. He's got his own, he is a trainer, right? He's been a trainer for like 10 years. So he's got a lot of experience. He's got his website. So he uses our CRM. He also uses our Annette feature, which is basically an AI that outreaches and can maintain connection with contacts. And so we've got like this new salon, this medical spa that just recently came on. So we do a lot of things. And what we have found through conversations with other business people, they're like, I didn't know you did that. And it's like, yeah, we do that. We can do that. And they're like, oh, well, you know, I'm interested. Let's talk. So this new stocking stuffer, what it is 24/7. It's actually like 22 or 20/7, right? Not the full 24 hours. I think there is a downtime right at the midnight. However, if somebody does still call, there's like a voice message or an automated kind of lead capture thing that we have. So there's just a little bit of downtime, but what it relatively is like having a receptionist. So there is no minimum fee that you have to pay. So you don't have to pay a minimum fee. It's $1.85 a minute. So if you guys wanted to have a 24/7 reception, somebody to answer your phone calls, we would. Well, so for $30 a month, we get you a phone number. For the ones that have a phone number, I'm not sure if we can take that phone number and turn it in. However, it is a $30 a month for managing the phone number, transferring the calls, doing all of that. The A2P, everything is involved into that $30 a month. And then it is just $1.85 a minute. So if you have the 24/7, you can funnel all of your phone calls to this. You can give us somewhat like of a cheat sheet as to if somebody calls with this is what you say. If somebody calls with that, this is, you know what I mean? Just so that people can get information. And then if it's a matter of taking that down and then sending you the alert that somebody called, this was what was said, that kind of thing. That's the
Okay.
stocking stuffer that we have. And then if you do it now, you sign up now for it, you get like a discount on setup. You do it in January, less of a discount on setup. But that's what that was. It was a stocking stuffer. And then there's many other services that are going to be coming out that you should maybe be aware you're going to get some of these emails. So if it doesn't necessarily, like if you're not in the mood or in the searching for a receptionist, well then totally understand. But there might be something else of one of our business in a box services that might appeal to you. Or if you know somebody that has the necessity to have that, right? Then it's an option for them. You know what I mean? To have
So
that
it
type of reception.
sounds like it's kind of it's a bot, but it's audio enabled. So in other words,
No,
somebody
it's
that
real. It's a real. These
oh,
are real people.
it's real
Yeah,
people. Oh,
it's
okay.
real people.
Wow.
Yeah, there is
Okay.
in the thoughts that when, let's say, our people get like bogged up with everybody's on the phone, there is an AI that will jump in that will at least answer the phone call, but it still says, would you like to deal with the AI or do you want to do a live transfer, right, to a live person?
Okay.
And then it kind of puts you into a queue. But that's just to, and I've played around, like they've had me test the AI in English and Spanish. So Spanish was a little bit off. Like I don't know where it called me Jose because I didn't say my name was Jose. And then so, I don't know where
Well,
that
I
AI
keep
came
hearing
from.
people singing during this whole month about some gal named Phyllis Navidad.
Yeah. Yep. It's a
I don't know
good
who
filler.
she is.
Yep. So, and then it was, yeah, he couldn't pick up that I was talking about a dog. So it was, so yeah, so it was, the Spanish one was a little bit off. However, the English one captured captured my information, took all my special requests, and then when I saw everything that it captured, it was relatively spot on. And if I feel like if you know that it's AI, but the AI is quick and it's following you and you're able to and it's responding and it's like, staying on top of it, well then it's not too much of a bother. And if you're in a jam and everybody else is, you know, full, then I didn't really kind of get too offset with it. But it's not intended for all the calls to be answered by AI. It's real people. Pick up the phone. They have a cheat sheet, so they'll welcome however you want that welcome to be, and then they'll just manage it, right? And then send you the message. Thank you, Michelle. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. And so yeah, so that's what the thing about it is for people that what we've seen to get access to this type of product, people are doing minimum. There's a higher end cost to having this feature. And so I want to say that for $1.85, have the capability of, yeah, like call my hotline and have a reception pick up your request. I think that's a pretty good price point for some people to have that. And so I don't necessarily think it's maybe something that you guys are gonna 100% like, dig into, but I do think from all the other people that we have and all the other leads and businesses and stuff like that we have, it might be something in which they could save on actually physically having somebody, or they could have, one gal during the day and also have this as a substitute. So whenever she's busy, she's got somebody as backup, in a call center to help her with that. And then in the evenings, in which sometimes people like to call in the evenings and try to speak to somebody, or at least know that their request is, getting put in line and that they don't have to wait in the morning and wait for regular hours to kind of get dealt with. They can have a little bit of peace of mind saying, oh, well, I called last night. They're going to pass that message along. And but yeah, so that's what that was. You'll see more of that stuff coming down the line. We built out a whole bunch of different services related to business in a box stuff. Allison?
So is it $1.85 once the connection has been made on the phone, whether it's the AI or whether it's the live person? It's just from the time the phone is picked up to the time the call is disconnected, it's $1.85 a minute.
That's correct. Once there's a solid connection and there's conversation, it's $1.85 a minute for our team to basically take the request, set up the message, and end the phone call. And so I
Okay.
don't think it's intended for anybody to like see. So with the cheat sheet, you could tell us, well, say this, say that. But at the end of the day, I think what you would want is just to have a live person be able to capture that information, put that person at ease that they're going to be dealt with as soon as possible and they're getting in line. And then, so it could be, 2-3 minute phone calls, just figure out who it is, and then you'll get a text message. I don't know how they're following up. I don't know if it's email and text message that they're going to send you alerts of this person called, this was what it was. But then now you have that. And if you wanted to make, an out of hours kind of phone call, you definitely wouldn't
Okay,
wouldn't hurt anyone.
thanks.
Will they be able to set appointments and stuff like that for you?
We could we could
Mhm.
definitely take that as well.
Okay.
And if you
Okay.
had like a Calendly link, right? We'd share
Hmm.
that. You could have that in the cheat sheet so the assistant could take that down and say, "Hey, I have them available these hours for tomorrow,"
Hmm.
and then
Yeah.
take that person's
Yeah.
info, email, phone number, put it in the request just like as if they were doing it themselves. But
Right.
so
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 it's
yeah,
kind of
so
like calling your doctor. You don't expect that the receptionist has been to medical school. It's like, what's this
right.
thing on my big toe?
Yeah, let me send you a picture. It's been bleeding for a while.
Yeah.
Can you help me with that? I got this nasty rash. Um, but yeah, no, no. It's not intended for like, well, so if you wanted to do intake, right? We
Mm,
we, we could. We could. But this little 24/7 for $1.85 is merely just like a receptionist kind of position.
yeah.
But yeah, we could, if it was to capture and set up a meeting,
Yeah.
think that would
And the
fall.
magic of it is you're paying for usage. You're not paying someone's salary the whole time. So,
Correct.
I mean,
So some
$1.85 if they
months,
stand there and rag on the phone for 5 minutes, yeah, that's pricey for that call, but the option is to hire somebody and pay for their time every day, all day long. And so, yeah, that makes it pretty
especially in
good.
the off hours when, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
so and if you inform us, keep it short, keep it, just take down, just confirm name, just confirm phone number, confirm email situation, right? Then that's the task at hand. So I don't
Hmm.
think that should take but a couple of minutes to do. And then what kind of service are they feeling that you're offering is like, they're probably going to get the butterflies in the stomach, which is a good thing, right? That they know that you have this type of infrastructure set up. And then what if you have a low month? What if the month isn't, you know, uh, when a busy month, let's say, April is a slow month. Well, then it could be just a couple of dollars. And it's not something in which you have to put into it. Like you don't have to pay
Hmm.
100 into it and have that balance there. So
Yeah.
we just basically bill you for whatever the system shows us that you consume. So if you haven't consumed anything, like, so what is an hour? No, 100 minutes. Isn't that what, $18? 18.50. So for $20, you could have 100 minutes of, capability where people could call in. That to me, you know, just really depends on the business, but to have that kind of infrastructure set in place for $20 a month, people can call your hotline and get in line, set up a meeting, send you a message or express something, and then that goes off to you. And whether if you then want to take that and follow up with the person at 10 o'clock at night, that's up to you. You know what I mean? But if it's a big customer, if it's somebody that you value that, getting back in touch with them, then that could be, and then you don't have to funnel everything to your cell phone, right? So now you can kind of not be obligated to take those kind of phone calls 24/7, So I definitely, yeah, didn't think it was for everybody, but there's some new things that are going to be being sent out for business in a box kind of stuff that I do think maybe like the connects. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, what we offer, but for for about like anywhere from like 250 to 400, you can get X amount of connections, which at the end of the day is email, text messaging, and voice calling to your contacts. And so if you wanted to have, let's say, an outbound, somebody going after these calls, either through email, through text message, to kind of get people to get passed off to you, like doing handoffs and things like that. That's for about like 200, and I think it's like anywhere from 300 to like 400, $500 to get 2,000 connects, 4,000 connects is where it's kind of at. And so if you've got somebody working a lot of leads and needs help, you know what I mean? The system would outreach via text, email, phone calls on your contact. And the algorithm kind of deals with whether if it's a phone call, a text message, or an email. But what it's going to do is it's going to confirm phone numbers, emails, and have conversations with the leads about whatever drive that you want to do, whether if it's, have you had a chance to look at any of the LegalShield products? Can I transfer you over to somebody that can discuss this with you right now? Do you have a moment? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And, that could turn the inbound faucet on, right? Especially if you've got a lot of stale leads, a lot of contact that you haven't really worked, yet you would like to have, somebody doing some outbound for you. This is where you're not paying salary to somebody, right? So there's that option as well. But that might seem a little bit down some of you guys' alley. But then again, it does have a cost. And so it just really depends on where you guys are at and what you want to do. But yeah, so that I'm glad Alice brought that up because that's not something that I think a lot of people anticipated. But yeah, it's a new service that we're doing. And then there's more stuff coming down the line. So you guys will be knowing little by little. I'll be emailing everybody that stuff. So, well, if there's not any more questions, I definitely thank you guys for showing up to this day after Christmas webinar. And yeah, I wish you guys the best and a happy new year. If you guys have any end of the year situations, only going to be off on the 31st and everything else will be, no, sorry, off on the 1st. I think that's how that's going to play out. So all the other days will be open up as usual. And so you guys can definitely, if you have any issues, count on me or send me an email, text message, however you guys like. But I'll be around. And so I definitely thank you guys. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
All
Thank
righty,
you,
guys.
Jeremy. Happy New
Happy
Year.
holidays.
Happy New
Absolutely.
Year, everybody.
Ciao, ciao, everybody.